Trump is continuing his dangerous pursuit of retribution against his enemies in the form now of Letitia James. You'll remember Letitia James is the Attorney General of New York and was the one who oversaw the civil case that was brought against Trump for his fraud, business fraud, and won that case. And so now they brought up some other thing like Letitia James is something wrong and they're investigating her for that, but it was nominally separate from Trump directly. Now they're just mask off, full retribution, terrifying, open. We're going to punish her for punishing Trump. And the DOJ is investigating Letitia James for her investigation of Trump. Literally, directly.
Some breaking news sources are telling us that New York Attorney General Letitia James and her office are under investigation by the Department of Justice in relation to her case against President Trump. Justice correspondent David Spunt is in Washington. What do you know, David?
Well, hi, Dana. Two well-placed sources familiar with the probe tell Fox News that New York Attorney General Letitia James and her office is under investigation by the DOJ here in Washington. We're told that Attorney General Pam Bondi signed off on the probe. Subpoenas were sent to James's office, and there is a grand jury investigation underway in the New York State capital of Albany. The specific investigation, my colleague Jake Gibson, Ashley Oliver, and myself are being told involves deprivation of rights, which in plain language means someone in a position of legal authority violating someone else's constitutional or legal rights. Those sources tell Fox News the DOJ is going after James because she took then former President Donald Trump to court, quote, simply because she didn't like him and campaigned on getting him. DOJ led by...
It's literally... Well, they don't even care. Because I was, of course, expecting the payback. Him trying to get payback. And that's frightening. The president to be using his government's authority and to be weaponizing his DOJ like he was accusing Biden of doing wrongfully. But, you know, it was going to be like Adam Schiff did something with mortgage fraud, right? It's going to be as if it's separate and they're going, no, we're just concerned with mortgage fraud. What? Or Letitia James did financial something. I forget what the other allegation they brought against her, etc. This is just, even actually, one other example, even Obama engaged in a conspiracy to election interfere with Trump. There's something like, if that, they're lying about it, but if that actually happened, then yeah, you would want to get justice for that. Whereas this is like, she won a case against me based on my business fraud, and now I'm going to go prosecute her for doing that. No other, not for something general fake. Oh, we think that she herself put the wrong thing on a tax file. Just for that. I keep learning this lesson over and over. The most hyperbolic voices about what Trump was going to be have proven themselves to be correct over and over and over again. Please do, as we continue through this, click the subscribe button. Another thing that Trump is panicking over is the fact that we got real data about his economy, and while there's plenty of still strong parts of it because he was handed a pretty strong economy, the cracks are starting to be seen. The jobs market being one of those examples, so he fired the BLS commissioner, saying she was fudging the numbers, and that's why she's making it look bad.
I think the good parts are the Trump economy, and the bad parts are the Biden economy.
Yeah, there we go. And so then he had this wacky press conference where he brought out a Heritage Foundation guy with charts to say, actually, things are looking up.
They're all something, but this one chart really says it better than anything. If you look at this is great, but this chart is pretty amazing right here.
Do you want to explain the chart? Look at this. I can't even read it. I know they broke it down this presser. You can go watch it if you want, but the imagery of this is wild. And we're tracking all of these economic metrics. And so we're going to give them a fair shake. And there's plenty of metrics you can find that are still perfectly fine. Unemployment's still low, relatively. Obviously, because he took over a really strong economy. But I don't know what this is supposed to do for people. Look at this.
All new numbers.
Wow. He kept saying that. I was watching it live. He kept saying during the press conference, these are all new. These are brand new. This is the newest of numbers we've ever seen. What does that even mean? No, you're saying you're tracking your whole presidency, so that presumably, they're new numbers. They're renovated numbers. They've been tweaked a little bit, maybe, huh? This was all so wacky.
Because we were up,
I'm very glad you did.
we were up over
No, we were
almost
at-
8,000 until.
Look at that number.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then we looked at, which families did the best.
So if that makes you feel better, then I'm happy for you. But Harry Inton broke down that Democrats are finally starting to see some gains as Trump gets more unpopular. They, on a generic congressional ballot for the midterms, are making gains.
So, we're talking about warning signs for the Republican Party, and I will just say, uh-oh, for them. That is the phrase of the day, uh-oh. Democrats lead the generic congressional ballot, and you can see their lead is expanding. It's becoming bigger. Look at this in spring. CNBC, it was 2. Now it's 5. How about Ipsos? It was 1 for the Democrats. Now it's 4. How about the Wall Street Journal? It was 1, and now it is 3. So now the average lead here is 4, which is up from just about a point. That's about a 3-point move on average in the Democrats' direction. And of course, Kate Paul, when this is coming amidst the fights over redistricting, and I think there are going to be a lot of people wondering, wait a minute, are Republicans wanting to change the lines because they are losing, which they absolutely are on the generic congressional ballot at this point, Democrats.
Yes, and the answer to that question is obviously yes. That's exactly why they're doing these redistricting mid-decade, totally wacky, and drawing the squiggliest of lines to figure out a way to create new districts for Trump. That is today's show. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. If you're a podcast listener, don't forget to rate and review the show if you appreciate it. If you're one of those people who's like, it turns me on to hate you. And you're going to do a 1-star, maybe don't. Why'd you listen to the end of the show? I don't understand. And why do you hate me? The hell, man? I don't get it. I'm just a man. Just a mortal man.
Soy boy beta cuck, Luke Beasley.
See you next time.